The discovery. The vast expanse of space stretched out before the horizon, humanity's most advanced exploration vessel. Captain Ava Chen stood on the bridge, her dark eyes scanning the holographic displays that surrounded her. The ship had been sailing through uncharted territory for months, pushing the boundaries of human exploration further than ever before. "Captain, we're picking up some unusual readings," reported Lieutenant Dax, the ship's sensor officer. His fingers danced across the console, bringing up a detailed analysis of the anomaly. Ava leaned in, her brow furrowing as she studied the data. "What are we looking at, Dax?" "It's unlike anything I've ever seen, Captain. The energy signature is off the charts, but it's not coming from any star or known cosmic phenomenon." Dr. Elara Voss, the ship's chief scientist, joined them at the console. Her eyes widened as she took in the readings. "This is incredible. The energy patterns, they're too regular to be natural. We could be looking at evidence of an advanced alien civilization." Ava felt a surge of excitement mixed with apprehension. First contact had long been a dream of humanity, but it also carried immense risks. "Helm, set a course for the source of those readings. All departments prepare for potential first contact scenarios." As the horizon drew closer to the anomaly, a massive structure came into view. It was a ring-shaped object, easily the size of a small moon, with intricate patterns etched into its surface. The object hung motionless in space, seemingly waiting for them. "My God," Ava breathed, taking in the sight. "It's beautiful." Dr. Voss was practically bouncing with excitement. "Captain, we need to get closer. The potential scientific discoveries here are beyond imagination." Ava nodded, but caution tempered her enthusiasm. "Agreed, but we proceed carefully. Lieutenant Commander Reza, prepare a team for EVA. I want a closer look at that thing." Hours later, Ava watched from the bridge as Reza and his team approached the alien artifact in their sleek EVA suits. Their helmet cameras transmitted everything back to the ship, allowing the entire crew to witness this historic moment. "The surface appears to be made of some kind of metallic alloy," Reza reported. "But Captain, it's reacting to our presence." Ava leaned forward, her heart racing. "What do you mean, reacting?" Before Reza could respond, the artifact began to glow. Lines of energy raced across its surface, converging at various points. The center of the ring began to shimmer and distort. "All teams, fall back to the ship immediately," Ava ordered, her instincts screaming danger. But it was too late. A brilliant flash of light erupted from the artifact, enveloping the horizon and its EVA team. Ava felt a moment of weightlessness, then a violent lurch as if the entire ship was being pulled by an immense force. When the light faded, Ava blinked in disbelief at the view outside. The familiar stars were gone, replaced by an alien sky filled with colors she had never seen before. "Status report," she called out, trying to keep the panic from her voice. "All systems operational, Captain," her first officer, Commander Takashi, reported. "But we're not where we were. These star patterns don't match anything in our database." Dr. Voss, who had been silent until now, spoke up in a voice filled with awe and trepidation. "Captain, I don't think that was just an artifact. I think it was a wormhole generator. We've traveled to another part of the universe entirely." Ava took a deep breath, steadying herself. They had made the discovery of a lifetime, but at what cost? They were alone in uncharted space, with no way of knowing if they could ever return home. "All right, people," she said, her voice firm with resolve. "This is what we trained for. We're explorers, and we've just been handed the greatest opportunity in human history. Let's make the most of it." As the crew set about assessing their situation and gathering data on their new surroundings, Ava couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning. Whatever force had created that artifact, whatever intelligence had brought them here, she had a feeling they would be meeting them soon. And when that moment came, humanity would need to be ready. First contact. Captain Ava Chen stood on the bridge of the horizon, her eyes fixed on the swirling, iridescent nebula that filled the view screen. It had been 3 days since that unexpected journey through the wormhole, and the crew was still coming to terms with their new reality. "Captain, we're picking up a signal," Lieutenant Dax reported, his voice tinged with excitement. It's like nothing I've ever seen before." Ava leaned over his console, her heart racing. "Can you isolate it?" Dax's fingers flew over the controls. "I'm trying, but it's not just an audio or visual signal. It's... Captain, I think it's affecting our ship's systems directly." As if on cue, the lights on the bridge flickered. Holographic displays sparked to life unbidden, filling the air with a cascade of alien symbols and diagrams. "What the hell?" Commander Takashi muttered, reaching for a nearby console. "Our systems are being rewritten." Dr. Ilara Voss rushed to a terminal, her eyes wide with a mix of fear and fascination. "It's not just rewriting, Commander. It's upgrading. Our processing power has just increased tenfold, and it's still climbing." Ava opened her mouth to respond, but before she could, a new presence filled the bridge. It wasn't physical, but a sensation that pressed against her mind, alien yet somehow familiar. "Greetings, humans of the horizon," a voice echoed in their heads, melodious and multifaceted. "We are the Zarkaf. We welcome you to the celestial nexus." The crew stood in stunned silence, looking at each other in disbelief. First contact, and it was happening in their minds. Ava took a deep breath, steeling herself. "I am Captain Ava Chen of the Earth exploration vessel Horizon. We come in peace and friendship." A ripple of amusement seemed to flow through the mental link. "Peace and friendship are admirable goals, Captain Chen, but we fear they may be luxuries we cannot afford in the face of the coming storm." Before Ava could ask what that meant, the view screen changed. The nebula vanished, replaced by a view of a massive space station unlike anything they had ever seen. It was a sprawling structure of crystalline spires and organic-looking curves, pulsing with energy. "This is Nexus Prime, the heart of our civilization," the voice continued. "We have brought you here because we need your help." Ava exchanged glances with her crew. "Our help? With all due respect, your technology seems far beyond ours. What could we possibly offer you?" Another ripple through the mental link, this time tinged with what felt like respect. "You underestimate yourselves, humans. Your species possesses a quality that is rare in this universe: adaptability. You thrive on challenge, grow stronger in adversity. It is a trait we sorely need." The view screen changed again, this time showing a vast, dark shape moving against the backdrop of stars. It was hard to make out details, but the sense of dread it inspired was unmistakable. "This is what we face," the Zarkaf voice explained. "We call them the Void Eaters. They consume entire worlds, entire civilizations. Our technology, advanced as it is, has proven ineffective against them. But you humans, you think differently. You find solutions where we see only problems." Ava felt a chill run down her spine. "You're saying you brought us across the universe to fight in your war. Not to fight for us, Captain Chen, to fight with us, to teach us how to adapt, how to think beyond the limitations of our technology. In return, we offer you knowledge beyond your wildest dreams, and a chance to save not just your world, but countless others." The mental link faded, leaving the crew of the Horizon to process what they had just experienced. Ava looked around at her people, seeing a mix of fear, excitement, and determination on their faces. "Well," she said, a wry smile crossing her lips, "I guess this is a little more than we bargained for when we signed up for deep space exploration." Dr. Voss laughed, a sound tinged with hysteria. "Captain, I think we've just been drafted into an intergalactic war." Commander Takashi nodded grimly. "The question is, are we ready for it?" Ava turned back to the view screen, where the image of Nexus Prime still hung, a testament to the wonders and dangers that awaited them. "Ready or not," she said, her voice firm with resolve, Humanity's about to make its mark on the universe, and God help anyone who stands in our way. As if in response to her words, the Horizon's engines hummed to life, guided by an unseen hand. They were moving towards Nexus Prime, towards a future none of them could have imagined. The adventure was just beginning, and humanity was about to show the universe what they were made of. The Quantum Crucible. The Horizon docked with Nexus Prime, its hull gleaming with the newfound upgrades bestowed by the Zarkath. As Captain Ava Chen led her crew through the crystalline corridors of the alien station, she couldn't shake the feeling that they were walking through a dream. "Captain," Dr. Elara Voss whispered, her eyes wide with wonder. "The walls, they're alive." Ava reached out to touch the shimmering surface. It pulsed beneath her fingers, warm and almost friendly. "It's like the whole station is one giant organism," she mused. A melodious chuckle echoed in their minds. "Your observation is astute, Dr. Voss." The voice of the Zarkath collective resonated. "Nexus Prime is indeed alive, a symbiosis of technology and biology that spans dimensions." The corridor opened into a vast chamber that defied the laws of physics. Gravity seemed to shift and swirl, with Zarkath of various forms, some humanoid, others utterly alien, moving in all directions, up walls, across ceilings. "Welcome," the voice continued, "to the Quantum Crucible." A Zarkath materialized before them, its form fluid and ever-changing, like a living hologram. "I am Sylith, appointed as your liaison. Here, we will forge the weapons and strategies to combat the Void Eaters." Commander Takashi stepped forward, his military training evident in his stance. "With all due respect, how exactly are we supposed to help? Your technology is centuries beyond ours." Sylith's form rippled with what might have been amusement. "Ah, but technology is not everything, Commander. Observe." The chamber shifted, and suddenly they were surrounded by holographic displays of past battles against the Void Eaters. The Zarkath ships, despite their advanced weaponry, fell quickly to the cosmic horrors. "Our problem," Sylith explained, "is one of imagination. We have grown complacent, reliant on our technology. The Void Eaters adapt faster than we can develop new defenses. This is where you humans come in." Ava watched the battles unfold, her mind racing. "You want us to think outside the box," she realized. "Precisely," Sylith confirmed. "But more than that, we want you to redefine the box itself." Dr. Voss, who had been uncharacteristically quiet, suddenly spoke up. What if we're thinking about this all wrong? We're trying to fight the Void Eaters, but what if we could communicate with them instead?" The Zarkath collectively recoiled, their shock palpable through the mental link. "Communicate? With those abominations?" Sylith sputtered. "Hear me out," Voss continued, her excitement building. "The Void Eaters consume worlds, right? What if they're not doing it out of malice, but out of necessity? What if we could offer them an alternative food source?" Ava felt a spark of hope ignite in her chest. Dr. Voss might be onto something. In our history, many conflicts were resolved not through superior firepower, but through understanding and diplomacy. The Quantum Crucible hummed with energy as the Zarkath processed this radical idea. Sylith's form stabilized, taking on a more humanoid appearance. "In all our ends of existence, we never considered, you've been here less than a day, and already you challenge our fundamental assumptions." Lieutenant Dax, inspired by the turn of events, chimed in. "If communication is possible, we could use the Horizon's new quantum entanglement array to broadcast on all frequencies, including interdimensional bands." "And if diplomacy fails," Commander Takashi added, a sleek grin on his face, "we humans have a long history of turning everyday objects into weapons. I bet we could weaponize the quantum foam itself if we had to." The chamber erupted with excited chatter, both vocal and mental, as humans and Zarkath began to brainstorm. Ideas flew back and forth, each more outlandish than the last, but each holding a kernel of potential that had never been explored. Ava stood in the midst of it all, a fierce pride swelling in her chest. This was humanity at its best, innovative, daring, and unwilling to accept the impossible. Hylith approached her, its form now a swirling mix of colors that seemed to reflect the excitement in the room. Captain Chen, I believe we made the right choice in bringing you here. Your people's creativity, your ability to see possibilities where we see only obstacles, it is truly remarkable. Ava nodded, a determined smile on her face. We're just getting started, Paxilith. Humanity has faced extinction-level threats before, in our stories if not in reality. We've imagined 1,000 ways to save our world. Now we'll use that imagination to save the universe. As if in response to her words, the quantum crucible pulsed with newfound energy. The very fabric of reality seemed to bend and twist around them, responding to the combined will of humans and Zarkaf united in purpose. The battle against the Void Eaters was far from over, but for the first time since the threat emerged, there was hope. And where there was hope, humanity would find a way. In the depths of space, unaware of the alliance forming against them, the Void Eaters continued their relentless advance. But their days of unchallenged conquest were numbered. Humanity had arrived on the cosmic stage, and the universe would never be the same. The consciousness catalyst. The quantum crucible hummed with an energy unlike anything the universe had ever seen. It was the energy of possibility, of imagination unleashed, fueled by the unlikely alliance of humanity and the Zarkaf. At the center of it all stood Captain Ava Chen, her eyes closed in deep concentration. Focus, Captain. Xylith's voice resonated in her mind. Your consciousness is the key. Ava took a deep breath, feeling the strange energies of the crucible flow through her. Around her, the rest of the Horizon's crew and a group of Zarkaf were arranged in a complex geometric pattern, their minds linked in a vast neural network that spanned dimensions. Dr. Elara Voss's voice cut through the mental chatter. Captain, I think I've figured it out. The Void Eaters, they're not just consuming worlds. They're consuming consciousness itself. Ava's eyes snapped open. Explain, Doctor. Voss's holographic form flickered before them, her excitement palpable. Look at the data. Every world the Void Eaters have consumed. It's not just the physical matter that's gone. It's as if the very idea of those worlds has been erased from the fabric of reality. Commander Takashi frowned. But how is that possible? And more importantly, how do we stop it? A ripple of unease passed through the Zarkaf collective. Paxilith's form shimmered with concern. If what Dr. Voss suggests is true, then the Void Eaters are an even greater threat than we imagined. They're not just destroying the present, they're erasing the past and future as well. Ava felt a chill run down her spine, but then a spark of an idea ignited in her mind. Wait, if consciousness is what they're after, what if we gave them more than they could handle? Lieutenant Dax leaned forward, intrigued. What do you mean, Captain? I mean, Ava said, her voice growing stronger with conviction, what if we overloaded them? Not with weapons or energy, but with pure, undiluted consciousness. The quantum crucible pulsed in response to her words, as if the very concept was reshaping reality around them. Imagine, Ava continued, her eyes blazing with inspiration, a concentrated burst of every thought, every dream, every idea humanity has ever had. Combine that with the vast knowledge of the Zarkaf, it would be like a supernova of consciousness. Silith's form expanded, tendrils of light reaching out to touch each person in the room. Captain Chen, what you propose, it's never been attempted. The sheer amount of psychic energy required. But it's possible, Ava insisted. The quantum crucible, it's not just a place, is it? It's a focal point for the collective consciousness of the universe. We can use it as a lens to focus our combined will into a weapon unlike anything the Void Eaters have ever faced. The room erupted into a flurry of activity. Dr. Voss and a team of Zarkaf scientists began reconfiguring the crucible's systems. Commander Takashi and Lieutenant Dax worked on a way to broadcast the consciousness, burst across interdimensional space. As the preparations continued, Ava felt a tug on her mind. She turned to see a young ensign, Emily Wong, approaching hesitantly. "Captain," Wong said, her voice barely above a whisper, "I had a thought. What if we're not just limited to our own consciousness? What if we could tap into the collective unconscious of all sentient beings, past, present, and future?" Ava stared at the ensign, a slow smile spreading across her face. "Ensign Wong, I think you just gave us the key to victory." The next few hours were a blur of activity. The Horizon's crew, working in perfect synchronicity with the Zarkath, constructed a device unlike anything the universe had ever seen. It was part machine, part organic, and part pure thought given form. They called it the consciousness catalyst. As the final preparations were made, Ava stood before her crew and their avian allies. "What we're about to attempt goes beyond anything humanity or any species has ever done. We're not just fighting for our survival, we're fighting for the very concept of existence itself. Every thought you've ever had, every dream, every fear, every hope, channel it all. Let's show the Void Eaters what consciousness really means." With a nod from Ava, Trilith activated the catalyst. The quantum crucible lit up like a newborn star, and Ava felt her mind expanding, merging with the thoughts and memories of billions upon billions of beings across time and space. In that moment, she was everything and everyone. She was the first human to discover fire and the last star to flicker out at the end of time. She was every song ever sung, every story ever told, every act of kindness, and every moment of triumph against impossible odds. And she wasn't alone. The entire crew of the Horizon, every Zarkath on Nexus Prime, and countless other beings across the universe joined in this cosmic symphony of consciousness. As one, they reached out across the void, their combined will focused into a beam of pure thought, pure existence. It streaked across space and time, seeking out the Void Eaters. In the distance, something vast and dark stirred, sensing the approaching wave of consciousness. For the first time in its unfathomable existence, the entity known as the Void Eaters felt something new. It felt fear. The beam struck home, and the universe held its breath. The battle for existence itself had begun, and humanity was leading the charge. The fractal fulcrum. The universe trembled. Reality itself seemed to buckle under the weight of the cosmic consciousness beam unleashed by the alliance of humanity and the Zarkath. Captain Ava Chen, her mind still merged with the collective will of countless beings, watched in awe as the fabric of spacetime began to fracture. "Captain," Lieutenant Dax's voice cut through the psychic maelstrom. "The Void Eaters, they're changing." Before their eyes, the vast, dark entities began to splinter and refract, like light through a prism. But instead of breaking apart, they were multiplying, each new fragment a perfect copy of the whole. Dr. Voss's voice, tinged with panic and excitement, echoed through the quantum crucible. "It's a defense mechanism. They're using our own consciousness against us, replicating themselves through the very awareness we're projecting." Silas' form pulsed with concern. "We've miscalculated. The Void Eaters aren't just consuming consciousness, they're the absence of it. A cosmic negation." Ava felt a moment of despair, but then a new voice cut through the chaos. It was Ensign Emily Wong, her young face etched with fierce determination. "Captain, what if we're looking at this all wrong?" Wong's voice trembled with the weight of her realization. "We're thinking linearly, but existence isn't a straight line. It's a fractal." The quantum crucible hummed in response, its energies coalescing around Wong as she spoke. "Every thought, every moment of consciousness, it's not just a point in time. It's a branching possibility, infinite variations spiraling out into eternity." Ava felt her mind expanding even further, grasping at the edges of Wong's insight. "You're saying we need to fight fractals with fractals?" "Exactly," Wong exclaimed. "We need to create a fractal fulcrum, a point of infinite possibility that can counteract the Void Eater's negation. The crew of the Horizon and the Zarkhav collective sprang into action, their minds working in perfect harmony. The consciousness catalyst began to shift and morph, its structure becoming increasingly complex, mirroring the infinite patterns of existence itself. Commander Takashi, his military mindset adapting to this new paradigm of warfare, spoke up. If we're creating infinite possibilities, we need to seed them with the essence of what makes us us. Our stories, our myths, our very concept of heroism and triumph against the odds. The commander's right, Dr. Voss added. We need to infuse the fractal fulcrum with the archetypal narratives of all sentient species. The hero's journey, the triumph of good over evil, the concept of sacrifice for a greater cause. As they worked, reality around them began to shift. The quantum crucible was no longer just a room. It was becoming a nexus of all possible realities. Ava saw versions of herself from countless timelines, each one facing their own version of this cosmic threat. Philith, its form now a kaleidoscope of infinite variations, addressed the assembled beings. What you propose goes beyond anything we've ever conceived. We're not just fighting the Void Eaters, we're redefining the very nature of existence. Ava nodded, feeling the weight of universes on her shoulders. Then let's make it count. Every story ever told, every battle ever fought, every moment of joy and sorrow and triumph. Let's weave it all into the fabric of reality itself. The fractal fulcrum took shape, a structure of pure thought and possibility that defied description. It was a library containing every book ever written and every book that could be written. It was a quantum computer simulating infinite universes. It was a mirror reflecting the soul of every sentient being that ever was or ever could be. As the fulcrum neared completion, Ava felt a shift in the cosmic balance. The Void Eaters, sensing the change, began to converge on their location. But now, instead of fear, Ava felt a surge of hope. Everyone, focus, she commanded, her voice resonating across dimensions. Pour everything you are, everything you've ever dreamed of being, into the fulcrum. Let's show the universe what it means to exist. With a thought, Ava activated the fractal fulcrum. Reality exploded into infinite possibilities. Every hero who had ever lived or been imagined sprang into existence. Every act of courage, every moment of compassion, every triumph of the spirit against insurmountable odds became real. The Void Eaters, faced with this eruption of pure being, began to falter. Their negation was overwhelmed by affirmation, that emptiness filled with the infinite variety of existence. As the battle raged across countless realities, Ava found herself face to face with a singularity, a point of choice that would determine the fate of all existence. In that moment, she understood that the greatest power in the universe wasn't technology or even pure consciousness. It was choice, the ability to decide, to shape reality through sheer force of will. With every fiber of her being, with the combined will of humanity and all their allies, Ava made her choice. She chose existence, she chose possibility, she chose life. The universe held its breath, teetering on the edge of oblivion and renewal. And then, the metaversal symphony. The universe didn't end, it transformed. As Captain Ava Chen's choice rippled through the fractal fulcrum, reality itself began to evolve. The battle against the Void Eaters had transcended physical space, time, and even consciousness. It had become a war of concepts, a clash between existence and non-existence on a scale that defied comprehension. But humanity, in all its infinite variations across the multiverse, refused to yield. Captain, Lieutenant Dax's voice echoed from everywhere and nowhere. I'm detecting. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like the universe is learning from us. Dr. Voss, her form now a swirling vortex of data and emotion, chimed in. It's more than that. We're not just changing reality, we're teaching it to change itself. Ava, her consciousness expanded beyond the confines of her physical form, understood. Humanity's greatest strength had always been its ability to adapt, to learn, to grow. Now that very quality was being imprinted upon the fabric of existence itself. Hyalith, no longer a singular entity but a chorus of infinite possibilities, spoke in a voice that resonated through the metaverse. The Void Eaters, they're evolving too. But they're struggling to keep up. Your human unpredictability is overwhelming them. As the battle raged across dimensions, Ava realized that victory wouldn't come through destruction. The Void Eaters were as much a part of existence as anything else. To truly win, they needed to find harmony. Everyone, listen. Ava called out, her voice carrying the weight of countless human experiences. We need to stop fighting against the Void Eaters. We need to integrate them. Commander Takashi, his military mindset now expanded to strategic thinking on a cosmic scale, caught on quickly. A metaversal symphony. We're not soldiers anymore. We're composers. The idea spread like wildfire through the collective consciousness of humanity and their allies. The fractal fulcrum began to pulse with new energy, not of conflict, but of creation. Ensign Wong, her young mind grasping concepts that would have driven lesser beings to madness, spoke up. We need to rewrite the fundamental laws of reality, not just physics, but the very axioms of existence. Dr. Voss nodded, her form flickering through infinite variations. Yes, we'll create a new framework where both being and non-being can coexist. A metaverse of infinite possibility and infinite nothingness, in perfect balance. As they worked, reality around them began to sing, every atom, every quark, every string vibrating in a cosmic harmony. The Void Eaters, sensing the change, began to resonate with the new frequency of existence. Its consciousness now spread across the metaverse, marveled at the transformation. In all our ends of existence, we never imagined, you humans are rewriting the very source code of reality. Ava felt the weight of this responsibility, but also the exhilaration of unbounded creation. Then let's make it a masterpiece. Every story, every song, every dream and nightmare. Let's weave them all into the greatest epic the metaverse has ever known. The metaversal symphony took shape, a grand orchestration of all possible realities. It was a cosmic fugue where themes of existence and non-existence chased each other through dimensions, creating patterns of unimaginable beauty and complexity. As the symphony neared its crescendo, Ava felt a presence unlike anything she had ever experienced. The Void Eaters, no longer entities of pure negation, had become something new. There were the rests between the notes, the silence that gave meaning to the sound, the empty canvas that made the art possible. In that moment of perfect harmony, Ava understood. The battle had never been about victory or defeat. It had been about growth, about the universe learning to know itself through its inhabitants. With a final, reality-shaking chord, the metaversal symphony reached its conclusion. The universe, no, the metaverse, held its breath. And then it began to applaud. Existence itself celebrated this new paradigm, this perfect balance of being and non-being. The crew of the Horizon, the Zarkaf, and countless other beings across the metaverse found themselves returned to their original forms, but forever changed. Ava looked out at the sea of stars, seeing them not just as points of light, but as notes in an endless composition. She turned to her crew, tears of joy and awe streaming down her face. "We did it," she whispered. "We saved existence by reimagining it." Dr. Voss, her eyes shining with the knowledge of infinite universes, nodded. "More than that, Captain. We've given the metaverse the gift of creativity, of free will. We've turned all of existence into one grand, ever-evolving story." Commander Takashi, a wry smile on his face, added, "And to think, it all started with one small crew on one small ship, daring to explore the unknown." Hyalith, now able to manifest in their reality at will, appeared before them. Its form was a breathtaking blend of light and shadow, being and non-being. You humans have done more than save us. You've shown all of existence, what it truly means to be alive. As the crew of the Horizon looked out at the transformed universe, Ava felt a swell of pride. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and had not just survived, but thrived. They had taken their place among the cosmos not as conquerors, but as creators. The adventure was far from over. In fact, it had only just begun. With the entire metaverse as their canvas and imagination as their brush, humanity was ready to paint wonders beyond imagining. Ava smiled, her eyes twinkling with the light of infinite possibilities. "Well then," she said, her voice filled with excitement and determination, "shall we see what's out there?" The Horizon's engines hummed to life, powered by the very essence of creation itself. As they set off into the transformed metaverse, Ava knew that whatever challenges they would face, humanity would meet them with courage, creativity, and an indomitable spirit. For in the grand metaversal symphony, humanity had found its voice, and it was singing a song of endless wonder.